Hey folks, Levi here once again. Welcome back to another review. Hope you enjoyed my reviews of Up, and Away and The Crow's Salvation. Videos on my channel if you want to check that out. Again, hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Levi McNally. That is my name in real life, and I just named my channel, but yeah. But yeah, thanks for checking my channel. I appreciate it. Definitely share my videos, my channel with your friends and family. I do appreciate the support. I want to appreciate the support, guys. I hope you stay tuned with my community post that I do on my channel about upcoming videos. I want to do more of that, like a list of movies I want to review. And I did that last night, and I'll keep on doing it again. The weather's been changing, by the way, too, yo. It's been getting hot now, and it's sweating. But I don't want to show you all my hairy arms, so some people, I'm not going to be half shirtless in the video. I think that'd be a little weird for some people. But anyway, as y'all know, if y'all been watching my channel, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. But also, I've been doing a superhero marathon on my YouTube channel, and I've been on the 2000s era of superhero movies. That means superhero movies 2000 to 2009. And right now, I'm just getting started. I've only done 2 movies, so I've been on the year 2000. So I got one more movie of 2000. Now this movie, this is another revisit review. I have reviewed this movie on my channel before. This is like 10 years ago when I reviewed this movie, but is it part of the superhero marathon? Good. This is a superhero movie, and that came out in 2000, and is directed by Bryan Singer, starring Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, Halle Berry, Frankie Muniz, James Marsden, and that is Rebecca Stamos and Ray Park, and that is X-Men 2000. Yes, I love this movie. Not a great film. I do have some issues with the movie. Yeah, the movie definitely has issues. Yeah, I name all the characters there, by the way. That's Wolverine, Mystique, Cyclops, Sabretooth, Storm, and Magneto. Cool pictures, by the way. Not a great movie, but really good. This came out at a time when, again, Marvel was beginning to do well, because at the time, I know a lot of people complain. I do agree that, Wolverine should be wearing his suit. But again, Batman and Robin came out at the time, so I can understand why they want to look goofy. But it wasn't just Batman and Robin. Every time people bring up, this movie or Blade, they have to bring up how it was because of Batman and Robin. I'm like, no, not just because I like Batman and Robin. It's a bad movie, but I can have fun with it. But that's just me. But, you had Spawn, Super Power Rangers movies. I mean, still, come on, guys. Those movies were a lot worse, in my opinion. I don't mind Batman and Robin for what it is. I like it for what it is, but that's just me. But it was really Blade. I know people say that this film really was because of the success of Marvel and more superhero movies. Well, really because of Blade, you've got X-Men, and then Spider-Man and all the Marvel movies, and other superhero movies. It really started with Blade. When X-Men came out, it did do well at the box office, made good money, and it made good money at the box office, and it paid away for many of those superhero films. But that really started with Blade, if you think about it. It was Blade and X-Men that really started it, but mostly Blade, because that was part of Marvel's biggest hit movie. If you think about it, I think the first biggest hit movie was Blade, starring Wesley Snipes. I think I prefer Blade over this, but that's just me. But I still enjoy this movie. I do have a nostalgia feeling for these movies, especially the second one, which is my favorite, X-Men United. And I will be reviewing some of the sequels. Past Days, Future Past, it'll be full reviews for the other ones that I haven't reviewed before. So, and this will be part of my X-Men reviews too, and Superhero Marathon, and reviews, and Marvel reviews, since it's a Marvel movie. Anyway, getting into the movie. Itself was that production. Marvel Comics writers, chief editors Gary Conaway and Roy Thomas wrote an X-Men screenplay in 1985 with Orion Pictures held. So this has been going around since the 80s, since they wanted to do, since 1984. The film was where development stalled when Orion began facing financial troubles. Throughout 1999, Stan Lee and Chris Claremont were in discussions with voice pictures for the X-Men films adaptations, with James Cameron as producer and Catherine Bigelow directing. A story stream was written by Bigelow, with Bob Hoskins being considered for Wolverine and Angela Bassett Storm. The deal fell apart when Marvel were interested in the Spider-Man film, which never happened. Cloverfield went bankrupt and the film rights reverted to Marvel. In December 1992, Marvel would discuss selling the property to Columbia Pictures to no avail. Meanwhile, ABL produced for the animated X-Men television series and many Marvel movies for Fox Kids. 20th Century Fox was impressed by the success of the television series. I've never seen X-Men, the animated, but I need to see it. But, thanks to that success and the success of Blade, I think it's what got this movie going. You had producer Shirley Donner, who I believe was the wife of the late Richard Donner. Yeah. First of the film rights for the properties in 1994, and Richard Donner, who of course directed Superman, Superman the movie. And the reason we get superhero movies is because of Richard Donner and his Superman film. Is because of that, and Donner, does produce a movie, which is cool. And I think Bryan Singer, who directed the movie, he took inspiration from him. So, bringing Andrew Kevin Walker to write the script. Walker's script involved Professor Xavier recruiting Wolverine to the X-Men, which consisted of Cyclops, Jean Grey, Iceman, Beast, and Warren. I think the Angel character. The Brotherhood of Mutants, which consisted of Magneto to Juggernaut and the Blob, try to conquer New York City, while Henry Peter Glush and Apollo Tess attacked the X-Men with 3 8-foot tall sentinels, but that never happened. The script focused on the rivalry between Wolverine and Cyclops, as well as the latter self-doubt as a field leader. Part of the backstory and defendant of Magneto made him the cause of the disaster. The script also featured the X-Copter in the Danger Room, but Walker turned to his second draft in June 1994. Lyndon Cruz was brought in for a rewrite in 1995. Another script with the idea of Magneto turning Manhattan into a immediate homeland, while another hinted on romance between Wolverine and Storm, which would have been interesting, I think. Michael Chabon pitched a 6-page film treatment to Fox in 1996. It focused heavily on character development between Wolverine and Jubilee, including Professor X, Cyclops and Jean Grey, Nightcrawler, Beast, Iceman, and Storm. Under this plan, the villains would not have been introduced into the second film. Fox considered Brent Ratner for director, but he would later go on to direct X-Men Last Stand. More on that later. And after the position of Robert Rodriguez, who directed films like From Dusk Till Dawn, but he turned it down. After the commercial success of Mortal Kombat in the U.S., Paul Anderson was offered the position but turned it down. Wanted to shift away from making him a PG-13 rated film and favored making an R-rated movie like Event Horizon. Following the release of The Usual Suspect, Bryan Singer was looking to do a science fiction film. Fox offered him Alien Resurrection, but producer Tom Santo felt he would be more appropriate for X-Men. Singer was hesitant to direct this comic movie, but changed his mind after he got the themes of the Prejudice in the comics. In August 1996, Ed Solomon began working on the script by December 1996. Singer was the director of the position, while Solomon completed a rewrite that month. And Singer went on to film Other People, which also co-starred, Ian McKellen, John Logan and James Schimas provided script rewrites. In late 1997, the film was projected at $60 million. 1998, Clement returned to Marvel, and seeing how Fox was still struggling with the script, sent them a 4-page long memo where he explained the more concepts, were differentiated from the X-Men from other superheroes. In late 1998, Singer and Disney sent a treatment to Fox, which they believed she was perfect because it took seriously the themes of the intent of the Xavier and Magneto comparisons to Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X, unlike the other scripts. They made Rogue an important character because Singer recognized that her mutation, which never touched anyone, was the most symbolic of alienation. Singer merged Abertu's Cave Wright and Jubilee into the films of Rogue. Magneto's plot to make the world leaders accepting his people is of how Constantine's conversion to Christianity ended the persecution of early Christians in the Roman Empire. Storm teaches history of it is being done. There was a lot of deleted scenes cut out of this movie. After the disastrous reception of Batman and Robin and many other superhero films that year, like I said, Spawn, still Silver Power Rangers, a movie. I love the Phantom. Phantom's a good movie, underrated movie. Phantom flopped. The release of Blade convinced some studios that Marvel could carry it, on a movie. Thanks to the success of Blade, Fox, who set the budget at $75 million, rejected the treatment, which they estimated would have cost $5 million. Beast, Nightcrawler, and Pyro and Danger Room had been deleted before the studio greenlit the X-Men. Fox had Bill Mechanic argued that this would enhance the story and Singer conquered that, removing the danger room allowed him to focus on other scenes. Elements of Beast and his return to Jean Grey. McGuire was initially slated to work on the script for only 3 weeks, but had not yet developed. Joss Whedon was brought in during production of the last act. Whedon was highly critical of the script and said it performed a major overhaul. Whedon's draft featured the Danger Room, and Whedon would go on to direct a superhero movie too. The Avengers, I believe, yeah. The first one, but many decades later. Whedon was also claimed to. He finished the film. He had an idea for the Phoenix, but I guess that never came to be. He was about to the table read for the movie, a script reading for the movie, but he wasn't aware that his script was being thrown out. Producer Adam Richard Hayter, who was kind of working as senior assistant, was brought in for rewrites due to knowledge of the original comics. Singer was in talks taking over to write Russell Crowe was the first choice to play Wolverine, but he turned down, instead recommending his friend Hugh Jackman for the part. Jackman at the time was an unknown actor. He wasn't very famous. I think he did some Broadway and stuff. But this movie, doing this role of Wolverine, he was perfect for it. And it made him a star, you know. Yeah. Jackman's wife told him not to do the role, but I guess he just went for it. But good thing he didn't listen to his wife. They had David Scott, which thank God they didn't have. I don't like him as an actor. David Scott would go into a superhero show, which was the album for the CW, and that show was terrible. Anyway, he was a villain in Mission Impossible 2. Again, this is a better film than Mission Impossible 2. It's not boring. And didn't feel that long. Jackman was cast 3 weeks into filming based on a successful audition. At first, Fox said no, because he was a no, he probably won't be any good. But after they saw his screen test, which he had with Anna Paquin to play Rogue, they were like, okay, let's have him, Patrick Stewart was first approached on Singer to play Xavier on the Conspiracy Theory, which was also directed by X-Men executive producer Richard Donner. Michael Jackson campaigned for the role of Xavier, but was never seriously considered by the studio. I'm sorry, not to be disrespectful by Jackson. He's a good singer and stuff, but yeah, no, I can't see him in it. Jim Caviezel was originally cast as Cyclops, so backed out due to scheduling conflicts with frequency. James Marsden was unfamiliar with his character, but he soon became accustomed to it after reading from comic books. Marsden modeled his performance similar to a Boy Scout. Anna Paquin dropped out of the lead role entirely in favor of X-Men. Rachel Lee Cook was considered for the role of Rogue. Cook later admitted that she regretted her decision to turn down the role. Singer and Hayter originally out with the role of Jean Grey, Charlize Theron, but she turned down. Thank God, I don't like that actress. Never not a fan of her. Singer cast Ian McKellen. Thankfully, Franklin Jermez got the part. Cast Ian McKellen to play Magneto, Eric Lensher, because he worked with him in a previous film. McKellen fronted the gay allegory of the film, the immunity successors, and Lorna coming to all that property, mother differences manifest. Singer's playing Ian is an activist, and he really responded to the potential of that allergy. The original state filming was mid-1999, but they released the date for Christmas. But Fox moved to X-Men in June. Steven Spielberg had been scheduled to film an article for release in June 2000, but he had chosen to film AI, artificial intelligence, which I've never seen. Sorry, I'm not worth on the world. I'm just tired. This meant that Singer had to finish X-Men 6 months ahead of schedule. I heard that there are some stories that, behind the scenes that he was difficult to work with a little bit. I don't know if that's all true. If he was very demanding of the actors behind the screens. But what can I tell? It seemed like the cast maybe had a good time making this movie. I know there's allegations of Singer, sexual allegations, assault or something. Whatever's against him, I don't want to talk about that. I'm not blaming the movie for that. The film was released in June, which is July. Locations included Toronto and Hamilton, Canadian Warplane Heritage Museum, Roy Thompson Hall, and Metro Hall, where they filmed the movie for the X-Mansion interiors. During production, Singer would occasionally arrive late and experience mood swings. He had said that he was difficult to work with. He had these bad allergies or whatever, and he was mood swings. He exploded. He had tantrums. At the time, Singer claimed to be taking medication for back pain. Cast of crew members found Singer's drug use problematic. Kevin Feige, the film's associate producer. I didn't know Kevin Feige was the man responsible for creating the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the MCU. You know, it was so long that the singer was kept in. To ensure that the singer was kept in line. The singer was also accused of giving small roles to younger actors and minors in exchange for sex. I don't know if that's true. I don't want to talk about that. A source of power, Alex Burton, says that Burton was told the role was created for him by Singer. Burton was also one from those in Toronto for filming, an unusual occurrence for an actor with a minor role. The filmmakers should not replicate the X-Men costumes as seen in the comic book. Stan Lee personally supported the decision. Some of the joke, you can't do that on your own, but when you do it on people, it's disturbing. Yeah. And again, maybe because of Batman and Robin, because of the bad CGI. I mean, still, Spawn had bad CGI. Spawn had a cool suit, I'll admit that. But still had a lame suit. Turbo Power Rangers, their suits were lame. Batman and Robin, I mean, I like the mask and stuff, and I like that girl suit, but you know, Batman and Robin, their suits had nipples on it, you know, which is weird. So I guess they, you know, didn't want to make anything weird, just because of the time. That's why they didn't have the... I know people compare, you know, like, Dolph Lundgren to the Punisher, not wearing the skull. I don't have a problem with that. I'm fine with that. And I get a lot of people complaining. I mean, nobody complains about Wolverine not wearing his yellow suit, but Dolph Lundgren Punisher doesn't wear his skull, but people bitch about that. But again, both movies are different times. That came out in the 80s where Marvel were not doing well at the time of the box office, so Marvel didn't really wasn't big then. But still, you know, I never really understood that, but that's just me. Wolverine's claw required no cast of Hugh Jackman's hands, or gloves, so he could easily put them on and take them off for safety reasons. Production insists that they be tested at all times under full prosthetic sleeve, but designer Gordon Smith refused to do it. They was Ireland who did the magic. But a regular man who played Mystique wore 110 silicone. It took her like maybe 18 hours for them to put the makeup on her. You know, you got CGI in this film, of course. With a film like X-Men, you gotta expect CGI. You know, from the film's release, they had the marketing for TV spots, a trailer. You had toy commercials. They made toys out of the X-Jet, the X-Copter, and you know, toys with Wolverine. Yeah. I did get a toy from when when Google was selling them. Yeah. We have a toy for Sabretooth here. Yeah, it's with Jean Grey, Rogue, and Storm and Cyclops. Yeah. They had toy commercials for it. It was, you know, movies were like marketing by McDonald's, but, you know. Then you have toy for Wolverine. I think I got a different one on them. I still have that one. But still, cool. Mm-hmm. For the music of the movie, you had... They wouldn't have John Williams, but he turned down... You know, because he turned it down, and John Williams did tour superhero movie that was Superman, which I'm finding he kind of took the part, didn't take it. I mean, again, his but you know, John Williams, I don't think he can really talk his music. I may be wrong, but John Ottman, I think he was scored the two sequels, X-Men 2 and X-Men Last Stand, which were great scores. Mike Kamen did a score, which is fine, good score. He scored, I think, made the late Mike Kamen. Like film scores he's done was like movies like Venom from 1981. Never heard of that. He did the music score for Highlander, the original, Lethal Weapon, Die Hard, so some action movies, License to Kill, James Bond movie, Roadhouse, Lethal Weapon 2, Die Hard 2, The Last Boy Scout, Lethal Weapon 3, Last Action Hero, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Die Hard with a Vengeance, Jack, and 100 Marvel Animations, the 1996 remake, and Jack, the Robin Williams movie. Lethal Weapon 4, Where Dreams May Come, He did one for the Avengers World. Now, from the 2012 versus 1998, which I think stars a... Oh, funny enough, that film stars Sean Connery, Uma Thurman, Ralph Fiennes. But that's a different movie, you know. The Avengers movie was scored by Alan Silvestri. Lethal Weapon 4, Will James Macon, The Iron Giant, Frequency, of course this movie. But a really good composer. It's sad that he passed away, but he was a really good composer, in my opinion. The film was successful. You did the follow-up, which was X-Men United, and of course it created a franchise. For, you know, the movie, they had scenes of, for, you know, featuring Senator Robert Kennedy. The feature was included as a bonus feature on some of the video releases. I forget what you call it. There was also a complete reaction of the movie. Of course, like I said, they had toys for the movie. Marvel Studios was depending on expenses to, you know, get other franchises, which, you know, you got, you know, after this, you got, of course, Spider-Man 2002, you had Daredevil, Hulk, Fantastic Four 2005. So, you know, a lot of other Marvel movies that came out because of it. And, of course, you know, Iron Man and The Incredible Hulk. You know. Yeah. Okay. The film was directed by Bryan Singer. He was a producer on Star Trek Nemesis, so I guess he's worked with Ian McKellen for. He directed Superman Returns, which again, I think that's a lackluster film. Yeah. I think he only did that movie for nostalgia, but that's just my opinion. He was a producer on X-Men First Class and Days of Future Past, and he directed that, you know. Well, he worked on the film Dark Phoenix, but he was removed because of his allegations. You know. He worked on some TV series too. The screenplay is by David Ayer. He's also an actor. Movies he worked on, let's see too much on. But he voiced King Shark in The Flash, the 2014 CW show. Oh, and he also wrote the co-wrote X-Men 2 and Watchmen, which is another superhero movie but that's a lot darker than this. The story is by Tom DeCinto, who was working on most of the Transformers movies, producing those movies, and is based on X-Men and Stan Lee, created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, both Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. Well, I'm not going to get into it, but things about the X-Men characters is something mentioned that these mutants are humans who are born with genetic powers, abilities. Due to the difference of the majority of humanity, mutants are sort of prodigies. Well, you know, Stan Lee said that, you know, him and Jack Kirby, you know, since they've already done, their first one was Fantastic Four, and they created Spider-Man and Hulk. So Stan Lee said, well, we can't have, you know, them gain their powers in space, you know, like the Fantastic Four did, or, you know, everybody can't be bitten by a radioactive spider, like Spider-Man was, or, you know, everyone can't be exposed to gamma radiation like Bruce Banner, Hulk was. So, you know, it was a time in '63 where there was racism and prejudice back then, so they used that for the time, for the X-Men, is that they're hated because they're different. They're born with these powers. Some of the mutants can either choose to help people or go against them. And, you know, it's really a war between Magneto and Professor X, but I'll get into that later. It's produced by Lauren Sheldon and Ralph Winter. She produced Free Willy 1 and 2, X-Men The Last Stand, X-Men Origins Wolverine, First Class Wolverine, Deadpool even, Deadpool 2, The New Mutants and Deadpool Wolverine, She's going to be a producer on that. Ralph Winter. He's produced some of the Star Trek movies. Inspector Gadget, Mighty Joe Young, love that movie, underrated. Left Behind the movie, Planet of the Apes from 2001. The Fantastic Four 2005 movie, and the sequel, Rise of the Silver Surfer. This is directed by Newton Thomas Sigel. It's edited by Steven Roswell, Kevin Stitt, John Wright. Music by Michael Kamen. It's distributed, the production company is 20th Century Fox Marvel Entertainment, the daughter's company, Bad Hat Harry Productions. It's distributed by 20th Century Fox. It was released July 12, 2000 in New Zealand, and here in the U.S. on July 14th, United States. The budget was $75 million, and the box office made $269.3 million worldwide. And with the success led to a series of films, and helped spawn a reemergence of the superhero film genre. Yes, it did, but what started it was Blade, like I'll say. But the cast of the movie gave Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. There's Canadian Roughhouser. He has, antimanian claws, knives that come out of his fingers, out of his hands, and he can, he can heal quickly. He has a quick healing factor, and his ability to sniff, kind of like a wolf, almost. Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier, Professor X, the founder of the X-Men, Xavier School for the Gifted. And his ability, he's telepath. His powers are telepathy, which is amplified by the supercomputer that he can use to find mutants when he needs to, or watch mutants. And Amy McKellen plays Magneto. Eric Lensher, who has the power to control magnetism. He can control metal. Baird Morris plays a young Magneto. Megan Jimenez plays Jean Grey. She's a medical doctor of the X-Mansion, and she's romantically involved with Cyclops. Her power includes telekinesis. She can realize how quickly she can move things with the mind, even use her hands to do it. She's Martin Cyclops, Xavier's second in command. He's an instructor there. He's the X-Men's team field leader. His powers include a strong control of a red beam out of his energy produced from his eyes. He wears these sunglasses or a specialized visor that he can have a beam out. So the thing is, Cyclops can't look at a person without destroying them. So if he opens up, he doesn't have the visors on or his glasses, his red sunglasses. If he looks at you, he can destroy you. How about there by Storm? She can control the weather with her mind. And back on his road, 17-year-old girl who leaves home. She can absorb anyone's memories or life force when she touches you. She can absorb your life force, which can nearly kill you. So the sad thing about her is she can't touch anybody. She can't have human contact without hurting you. If she holds on long enough, she can kill you. And then for the Brotherhood, you have Taller Man of Sabretooth. He's a sadistic member of the Brotherhood. His powers include ferocious feline-like nature. He can roar like a lion, animal-like instincts. He has some powers of Wolverine, but he can handle a fight with Wolverine. Ray Park is Toad. He's a very snarky, cocky member of the Brotherhood. He has a tongue, a slimy substance that's better than others. And he can jump and all that stuff too, kind of like a frog. Rebecca Moran is Mystique, who is Magneto's second in command. She's a shapeshifter. She can shapeshift to anybody. Bruce Davison plays Kelly, as Senator Kelly, an anti-mutant who ends up becoming, who's part of a unit using a mutant restriction act. You have Ashmore, appeared as in a minor robotic trick Iceman. His powers include, of course, generating ice. Stan Lee does have a cameo in the movie. And the voice of Beast, George Burroughs, he's a guest star appearance. He guests in there. Stan Lee, I'll mention his guest. Kevin Feige even had a cameo, but they were cut out. But that's the cast. Okay, I'm sorry, we're on this video. The plot of the movie is that they are children of the Atom, the Homo Superior, the next link in chain of evolution, mutants. Each was born with a unique genetic mutation, which at puberty manifests as destroying powers. A world filled with hate and prejudice, they are feared by those who cannot accept their differences. led by Xavier and the X-Men, fight to protect the world that fears them. They're allowed to battle with his former colleague, Eric Lensher, aka Magneto. He believes humans and mutants should not never coexist, so, as spoilers, Magneto has a plan to take out the human race, and he's going to do it by any means necessary, even killing out the human race. And Wolverine and Rogue, they just kind of get thrown into the middle of this war. They're just thrown in the middle, and you find out that, some spoilers, that he wants Rogue because he's creating this machine that will turn every human into a mutant, possibly killing billions of people, millions of people in New York City. And the X-Men, along with Wolverine teaming up with them, they have to stop and defeat him and take his brotherhood down and defeat Magneto and save New York City. Yeah. But that's the plot in a nutshell for you. Yeah. Excuse me. I'll talk about the movie stuff. I'm sorry, I'm going to get to it now. Sorry. Just drinking more water. But anyway, the film starts off in the year 1944. Good music and stuff came in. Then you get the title of the X-Men, which is nice. You get Wolverine talk. I mean, not Wolverine. Professor X doing talking about mutation. Narration from him, and then we get the X-Men title. You open up in 1944 of the Nazi bullying a 14-year-old Eric Lensher. He gets separated from his parents. He's freaked out, and they're going to this gate, which is made of metal. And Eric is so freaked out as a kid. This kid's freaked out that he uses his powers. He'll pull these men away. These are grown men. He's just a 14-year-old kid. He's a grown man guard, and he's nearly dragging all of 5 men, to it. And except one soldier, hits him with a gun, realizing his abilities. Then we see in the not so distant future. You see Rogue, Maria. Anne-Marie, Rogue. Well, she's hanging out with this boy in her room, at her parents' house. She shares a kiss with the boy, and when she does share a kiss with him, he passes out. He's like, and she's freaked out. She's just, she's crying, and what's happening? So Rogue decides to run away. Meanwhile, you have Senator Kelly. He wants to pass a Mutant Restriction Act to Congress, which will force mutants to reveal their identities and abilities, because he thinks it's dangerous. But Jean Grey is trying to defend that. Along, Professor X is watching, that they need to sign this act. So it's all, a bit political too, where Representative Kelly doesn't trust these mutants, that they're all dangerous, that you can't trust them, so he gets prejudice against the mutants. And, Jean Grey makes a pretty good argument. She tries, but, she tells Senator Kelly, we give people licenses to drive, yes, but not to live. Mutants should have their own rights. They want to come out, but they just, like everybody else, deserves their own privacy. But Senator Kelly argues that, saying that they could be dangerous. They can read our minds and make us do things, which should be illegal to do. They can do whatever they want. Walk into the White House, do what they do. And they agree with them, so they want to pass Mutant Restriction Act. And Eric Lensher is there too. Patrick Stewart is there too. Magneto, Professor, Charles Xavier. Charles sees him, and he's like, Eric, what are you doing here? Charles, I'm trying to, build his own hope. His point of view, Professor Charles' point of view, Xavier's point of view is that to have hope, that humans and mutants can coexist peacefully with each other, and that I think his goal is just to accept each other, to help mutants out, of course, with his gift to the school. But Eric Lensher is like, Eric is Magneto's like, you're wasting your time. They're going to turn your back on you. We got to take them out, wipe them. Now I need to be wiped out. And Magneto tells him, I will bring you up, my dear friend. All I ask is that you just stay out of my way. And your precious X-Men stand them all way too, pretty much, is what he's telling him. And of course he knows he has to stop, get his X-Men to stop him. This doesn't know what he's up to, but knows he's up to something. She flees to this country to Alberta, or wherever she flees to. You see Logan Wolverine for the first time in a fighting match, and man can knock him out because of Wolverine's abilities and stuff, and his claws. But I think he hides it a little bit too, because he's able to probably pull him back and stuff real good. But this guy says, "I'm gonna knock him out." I was like, "You said anything goes." I'm like, "Don't hit him in the balls, but we'll take it personal." He hits Wolverine a bit, but he goes too far. Wolverine punches out this Wolverine. Does not. Wolverine just knocks him out easily. Wolverine and Rhodesia the first time. That's the end of the joke. Wolverine is at the bar drinking. The bartender said, "You better not be looking at that jar of money," and takes away from him. But Wolverine is just getting a drink. They see what's going on TV about the New Restriction Act, and then the guy that he beat up earlier says, "I know who you are. You're like you lost something, so you better go away." And he tries to, the guy won't let it go, so he tries to pull him back on Wolverine. Wolverine just jumps up, grabs him, puts his knives, his hand falls to the man's throat, and then, bartender puts a shotgun at his head, a gun at his head, a rifle at his head, and he says, "Wolverine," and he says, "Get out of my bar," freaking Wolverine just cuts it, and Wolverine, puts his clothes up, walks out, and Rogue follows him. Unbeknownst to him, sneaks in his truck, his van, and then he sees her, wakes her up, tells her, get out of here. He's like, "Well, we gotta go here or go here?" He's like, "Well, pick one." He's like, "I saved your life," and then he helps her. They have a talk, a little bit. She tells her, "Well, what kind of name is Rogue? What kind of name is Wolverine?" He's like, "I'm Logan. Anne Marie." And he tells her not to touch him, and he's like, "I'm not gonna hurt your kid, but when I touch people, the first boy I ever kissed, ended up in a coma for 3 weeks." So she doesn't, it's nothing personal. She doesn't use person. She asks Wolverine about his clothes, like, "Do they hurt when they come out?" He's like, "They hurt real bad every time." And she tells him to put a seatbelt on, and he does, and they bump into a tree. Wolverine falls out. She gets stuck in the corner. Of course, the van's about to blow up. The camper's about to blow up. And Wolverine, she looks away. He's like, "Kid, you alright? You alright?" She sees this big blood mark on his head, but it heals up, his healing factor abilities. And all of a sudden, Wolverine smells something, pulls his knives out. All of a sudden, Sabretooth shows up. Hits him to a tree. Wolverine can't really much fight him. He knocks Wolverine out. Storm and Cyclops show up. Storm, Chris, snowstorm. And, Cyclops with his beam, with his visor, beams at him out. Sabretooth jumps out of the way. And they help her get her seatbelt off and take her out of the car and save their lives, take him to the X-Mansion. Wolverine wakes up in the X-Mansion where he's, Jean Grey, he tells the nieces, like I said, with her mind, to give him a shot, and Wolverine wakes up, attacks her. It's like, "Oh, she's not a threat, just let her go," and she has to get out of there. Sees the X-Men suits, and gets a shirt, and Charles Davis is talking in his mind. And he's like, "Oh, good morning, Logan." And he's talking to the students, he's like, "Literature," something like that. And he's like, he said, "This is my school of the gifted, you're in New York, When he tells him, I forget what Xavier says, maybe it's a close movie, but he's like, "You already met my associate, you already met Jean Grey. This is Orloff, Storm, Scott Summers, also known as Cyclops." At first he's like, this is a joke. Wolverine doesn't take seriously. He's like, "Storm, right?" And he's like, and then Wolverine says to to Fisher, he's like, "What do they call you? Wheels?" So that was funny. And Wolverine says, "What do they call you? Wheels?" So that was funny. And Wolverine says to Magneto, to Fisher, he's like, "What do they call you? Wheels?" So that was funny. And Wolverine says to Magneto, to Fisher, he's like, "What do they call you? Wheels?" So that was funny. because he doesn't take it very seriously. But he tries to get out of there, and so Cyclops can get him on, grabs him. You know, he's like, it's been 15 years, hasn't Logan? Logan from day to day, not knowing who you are. And Wolverine's like, shut up, you know, because he doesn't hear that. He's like, if you stay here, I'll help you find out who you are. Can help you locate that. And he feels like, what is this place? And you know, and Professor explains to him that it's a school for the gifted, for youngsters, because the world will reject them, so it's to save them. You know, he uses it as a front for like a real school, but it's to protect the units, to protect the children, to use their power for good, to tell them there's nothing wrong with you, there is nothing wrong with you. You can use your special gifts. It's a gift, and you can use that as ability to help people. You know, to do the right thing with it. You know, that you're just as normal. You're different, but you're just different. You know, if there's nothing wrong with being different, I think that's what the message is for the X-Men. And he tells them by Magneto, but Eric just didn't agree with it. He became more vengeful. He, I guess because of what happened to his parents and being attacked by mutants and, seeing the human race as disgusting and not liking humans. Besides that, he wants revenge and he's angry about it, so he says to do something. So he thinks, wiping out the human race out, attacking the humans is the best way to go about it. That's just from his point of view. They're both leaders, they just have different points of view. Yeah. But they give Wolverine a room. He talks to Flash a little bit with Jean Grey, and they check out his powers. Like Wolverine says to Logan says to Jean, is like, can't wait to get on my shirt. Couldn't wait to get on my shirt again. Could you? She's like, so she, checks his body, talks about his animated clothes, that he's searched to his body, that somebody did this to him, and that he's not a freak, that he's probably older than Professor X himself. He's lived for a long time. And they find out information why. You don't know why Magneto wants him. But Sabretooth goes back to Magneto. And Toad's like, why should we bring somebody back to roars at him? And he's like, they knew that I trusted him. I have made the first move. That is all they know. And he sees the Wolverine today. Where's the mutant now? By the way, spoilers. Not talking about. He's talking about Rogue. Because of her abilities. But he's, Rogue Rose in the school is a new student. She meets Bobby Drake, aka Iceman. You have Pyro who plays with fire, literally. Uses powers to start the fire. And Bobby, freezes it, and he drops it. And Storm, who's instructing class, history class, is like, John, stop. And then Bobby talks to Rogue and says, hey, how you doing? I'm Bobby. And, it's like a little ice knight, a little ice rock for her, using his abilities. Meanwhile, though, for the humans, Toad and Mystique, Representative Kelly, of course, like I said, Mystique, she's blue, yes, she is naked in the whole movie, but they do use CGI to cover some of it up. I think for some of this Rebecca Romijn, she did freeze to death. Oh, she would go on to be in another Marvel movie. She would go on to be in, The Punisher from 2004 starring Thomas Jane. But anyway, Mystique reveals herself. She's like, it's because of people like you were scared of a child. She gives a few kicks in the face to Senator Kelly. So Magneto uses him as a tough subject for his machine. That is very generation that this machine can turn humans into mutants, so he tests it out. Senator Kelly just looks around, sees Toad with his tongue. It's like a frog, so he's able to eat with his tongue, eats a bird, and then he's like, ew! He's like, Toad has a weird tone, just like you, Senator. It's like, don't fear God, Senator. Don't fear me. Fear the rest. He's like, you won't be fearing anybody, Senator. Not anymore. So he uses the abilities. And, the machine goes off. Wolverine, I'm sorry to go over my review, but Wolverine's having a bad dream about his past. Jean was able to read his mind to it, but didn't tell him about it. Logan shows up, not Logan, Scott shows up, tells him, hey Logan, stay away from my girl. Because, him and Jean are in a relationship. But there's a romantic part. I don't like love triangles movies, but it's fine. It's not a bother, like it is in X-Men 3, but here it's not a bother. It's subtle. They're subtle about it. It doesn't feel forced down your throat or anything like that. It's not like it's forced, As long as you don't force a love triangle, I'm fine with that. Too much of it that is forced, it doesn't work. But anyway, this movie works. But Logan is dreaming. He's having a bad night for what happened. If he can't remember, he just had bad dreams of it. And, Will hears him, having this nightmare. She's like, Logan, look at Logan, and he stabs her with his knife. He's like, oh my god, somebody help me, somebody help me. And she touches him, even her ability, he gives his ability to heal, and he passes out, and says, is she okay? And Mystique, who goes undercover as Bobby, tells him, the students are free. Professor X is going to get mad at you. I don't know what they're going to do. You need to leave, bro. You need to leave. The students are freaked. So, feeling that she did something really bad and that she upset Professor X, Logan says to, get out of Dodge. And Wolverine feels responsible, and, says he can't leave the mansion, but it's more dangerous for her. They tell him he doesn't go. So, Storm and Cyclops go, but Cyclops realizes, where's my motorcycle? And it's Logan driving it, which was cool. Seeing him drive the motorcycle. Then he pushes the button, which makes it go faster, and he's like smiling. That was awesome. That was a cool motorcycle. Xavier shows, Logan, though, Wolverine, his locating machine, Cerebro. Cerebro was a machine that he's used his abilities, like a helmet he can put on his head. Since Patrick Stewart is bald, put it on his head, and he's able to locate Rogue at the train station. They even don't, Logan and Cyclops, so Logan and Scott don't like each other, and he's like, they're in danger of the mission, I don't want him part of this. He's like, y'all need to settle this. He's about to Wolverine to tell him to shove it. Wolverine's thinking, screw this. Wolverine is known for his bad attitude. He's an anti-hero. He doesn't want to be like a hero. He just really go about his business. He doesn't really seem to give a crap about what the X-Men do. Wolverine just wants to do things in his own way, but he does care for Rogue, kind of like a father figure. I do like the relationship in this movie. It's like a father-daughter relationship. But he tells Storm, you waste your time trying to protect people, people that fear you. It's just a waste of time. But I knew he was right. There was a war coming. You sure you're on the right side? She's like, at least I've chosen this side, Storm says. And Senator Kelly shows up. Senator Kelly, he's able to escape. Sabretooth tries to save him, but he falls. But I knew who probably thinks, he probably died, or is not dead, is mad because he got away. While Sabretooth in the prison, and the prison's up, and Sabretooth rolls at him. But he goes to this, he walks on the beach naked. You don't see him naked, but one of the people that came into it is the late Stan Lee. There's all these people looking at him, and he gets a jacket on. He goes to the X-Mansion, and Professor X is able to, read his mind and realizes what Magneto is up to. That he can use this machine. They go over this machine that he can wipe millions out in Manhattan. Because Senator Kelly does come, they do help him, but he tries to talk to Rogue, but he's dying. She's like, why do you fear people, hate people? He's like, because I'm just afraid of them. And he does, and Storm runs away to go tell them that, that he's dead, Senator Kelly's dead. Realizing that they have to stop and they, have to go parachute up and stop Magneto. Wolverine ends up finding Rogue on the train. Storm and Cyclops, though, Storm tries to go in a helicopter, not a helicopter, but from the train station to ask them about Rogue. Have they seen her? Sabretooth comes up and attacks her. He's like, scream for me. And Cyclops is going to show, he's a Boy Scout. He's a guy that goes by the rules. And just a Boy Scout, just a follower. All here. I also mentioned, that Bobby Drake, not Bobby Drake, well, Mystique who went undercover as Iceman, she affected Cerebro and doing that, it hurts Professor X's mind. And, there's a scene where Cyclops is talking to him when he's in his coma. So in that, I guess he sees him as a father figure. But I like the translation. I go over my reviews, sorry. This boy looks at him, smiles, and, he just has that cool smile. Dubbing up Lord, as he'd be known as Sonic. But Toad walks up behind him and jumps up behind him, uses his tongue and grabs his visor. And, he takes off his eyes, his visors, and he shoots it at the sunroof, by accident. Stormzy uses her powers on Sabretooth, electrocutes him, and Toad's like, cool plan, I was like, And Storm is able to kidnap, Magneto shows up to the train. Well, Wolverine has a talk with Rogue, tells him, people like us, people care. And you know what? This Xavier guy, he really cares about you, he wants to help you. That's a rare thing. So I think, let's give these kids a chance. And, she starts crying, and Wolverine, hugs on to her. Like a father-daughter moment, that relationship. And Magneto shows up and says, Wolverine, you must be Wolverine. Those are magnetic, because his clothes are practically magnetic, which he can't do anything about it. Magneto can attack a Magneto person, but he's like, stop. It's like, okay, she knows her, and he shoots for those, like, young people, kidnaps her. These police say freeze, but Magneto uses his powers, pulls some cars up. They try to use the guns, but Magneto's able to use it against them. And Professor X is able to control the minds of Toad and Sabretooth to get Sabretooth to choke him. He's like, Charles, stop this. It's like, Charles, I'm going to shoot them and hurt them if you don't back off. Without no choice, because Magneto comes close to putting a bullet into one of the cops' heads, and the cop is just yelling and bang. So he lets him go. So, Mystique shows up with the ship, with the helicopter. They get in there and fly off. And realizing that they had to go save her. I'm sorry to go over in the review. But, Jean fixes Cerebro. She uses it on herself, the mind thing, on herself. She gets herself killed doing it. But she's like, I know where Magneto's is. They talk about his plan. And they're going to use it all over Liberty Island. I forgot to mention that. But they show up in the X-Jet, which is real cool. The X-Copter, cool. It's under the basketball court, which is pretty cool. And was like, you go outside these things, like, what do you prefer, yellow spandex? That was actually a joke because Wolverine just wear that costume. They smile about it. He realizes that, when he pulls his knives out, it doesn't hurt. I guess the suit is to protect him. He gets his hands hurt when he pulls his clothes out of his hands. But they end up down, they sneak on top, they get in the building. Wolverine can smell that Mystique is there. Mystique nearly attacks Cyclops, but he shows up and Cyclops doesn't know how to shoot. So Mystique, who, makes his looks to him and screams, she fights him. She puts up a good fight. She gives Wolverine a bit of an ass beating, and she goes away. But later, Mystique tries to pretend to be Storm, but he realizes that again because he can smell sense, and he's like, there's a problem in our part of her. Stabs her. Storm and Cyclops and Jean get attacked by Toad. Toad, was able to kick Cyclops away into the door, and he throws Storm up to the upstairs. Jean tries to use her ability. He comes up to Jean to jump on her. She uses her abilities, her telekinesis, but he spit on her, and it's basically poison so he can kill her. But so he goes to attack. Gives Storm a bit of a beating. Cyclops uses his ability to open the door, which is cool. Then he uses it, a favorite part of it to get that spit out of, the goose spit or whatever you want to call it, out of her face, out of Jean's face. And Storm shows up, which is a badass moment, walks up to him, her eyes are glowing blue, she's using her strong powers. And he's like, what happens to a toad when they start lightning? The same thing that happens to everything is. I agree, people hate that line, or make fun of that line, but I was fine with it. I didn't hate the line, I didn't mind it. It's not like I thought it was a bad line, but she, gives him a good strike though. For Toad, he's taken out. But again, it's, sorry. And Mystique is taken out too. Sabretooth told her a bit earlier that, about how Mankind is not involved, and that, your sacrifice will be for the units, for mankind. I forgot to mention though to her earlier, Sabretooth kills a cop. Toad, knocks out some cops by jumping on them. And Mystique stabs one. But anyway, so I'm just going everywhere in the review. I do that, stab it. Mystique, with him taken out, they don't have Sabretooth left. They based on top of the building now, where he's going to shoot the machine. There's I feel something moving, and then Magneto moves them. He's like, brothers, you need to stop me, you could have joined me. And Magneto's like, you're so full of shit to sacrifice a girl like this. And Magneto just, flies up there to use his abilities. Sabretooth watches them. But, he's like, I think your clothes would be in a safer place. So he puts it to his chest. Wolverine realizes that he's the save rogue. Now stop this, stabs himself. But thanks to his healing factor though, he's able to get back up. Has a fight with Sabretooth, the fight on top of the statue's head or whatever, Statue of Liberty's head or whatever. Wolverine is able to use his clothes, just go around. Awesome moment. It's a good fight. Maybe he's not down. Sabretooth comes back to Storm, and says, you owe me a scream. He's like, I'm not done with you, Bo. And Sabretooth's about to ready to attack him too. And he's like, Jean, he grabs the goggles that is able to get the Saber, shoots the goggles away, and they shoot Sabretooth, Cyclops uses his beam to shoot at Sabretooth. Sabretooth gets knocked out. And Wolverine has an idea to go up there, but Storm has to use her abilities to because Cyclops can't shoot up there because he would probably hit and kill her, so Storm has to use, power like air, not air, but, to control him and get over there. And Jean has to, use telekinesis to control him. And, he's able to jump. Magneto tries to stop him, nearly. But Cyclops is able to get up a shot and knock Magneto out. And they say that they destroyed the machine, and Rogue is about to die. Magneto, he tries to touch her, but he gives her this hug, and it passes him out, brings her back to life, saves her life. And it's like, is she okay? And, as he showed like Jean later, that we saved the day we did it. And the X-Men leaving the X-Jet, the X-Copter, while Magneto was arrested and put in a plastic prison for his crimes. He's like, you've been saved. I think she has a thing for you. She likes you. He was like, tell her my heart belongs to someone else. He said, Logan, you and I was like, and Logan just changes the conversation real quick. They go talk to Professor X. Professor X tells him that he can go find this place where he can find what he's looking for. Mystique ended up escaping. She's impersonating Kelly, as they see on TV. It's abandoned military in Canada. And, Wolverine just has a goodbye moment, until he gives her goodbye. She's got gloves on so she can touch him. And she's got the white beside her hair, which is cool. But he gives her his army dog tags. That he'll be back eventually. And I like that when it's Scott's bike, he's like smiles and he takes it. And that's the last time you see Wolverine in the movie. Magneto, he goes visit him in the plastic prison. They play chess. It's like chess. Who's going to make this move for checkmate? Who's going to win this time? And he tells him, Magneto tells Xavier, there's still a war coming, Charles, and I intend to find it by any means necessary to protect me and the race. Do whatever I can to keep doing what I'm doing. He's like, and I'll always be there. to stop you, old friend, someone as Abraham said. Be there to stop you. And then, Xavier, somebody, security are working him out of the Pfizer prison, and, Magneto's kicking the chest down, or just flipping it down or whatever, and then the movie ends there. And that's X-Men. The first X-Men movie, yeah. Hey, you running again? No, another thing. I got some things to take care of you up north. I kind of like it. Yeah, I don't want you to go. I'll be back for this. Hey, it's me. Prove it. Hey, it's me. Wolverine says to Cyclops. Cyclops says, prove it. Wolverine says, you're dick. And he's like, okay. You actually do go outside these things. What would you prefer, spandex? People like you with Louise and I was afraid to go to school as a child. When they come out, does it hurt? Every time. Does it ever wake you in the middle of the night, feeling that one day they will pass that full soul and one just like it, and come for you and your children? It does indeed. What do you do when you wake up to that? I feel a great soul of pity for the poor soul who comes to that school looking for trouble, his school. Why do you come here, Charles? Tell me, Charles. Why do you ask? Question which you already know the answer. Oh yes, you continue to search for hope. This class of prison of theirs won't hold me forever. The world's still coming, Charles, and I identify by any means as and I'll always be their old friend. Logan, is that you? Something is wrong. Come on, we need to regroup. This is one problem, you're not part of it. You don't have everything to eat, do you? Anyway, I'm tired. There's enough quotes for the day. What have you seen in the movie? You know the quotes from it. But anyway, give my final opinion on X-Men 2000. This was a weird visit review, by the way. But X-Men 2000, I love this movie. This is a really good movie. Before I get to my issues, though, what I like about X-Men is I do like the story. I think the story is really good. And that it's kind of like a war between good and evil, or, different points of view. Like with Professor X, he wants to help mankind. He wants to, help mankind. He wants to believe that the humans and mutants can coexist, that they can accept each other, and he wants to help, them to use their abilities, their gifts for good, for the good of mankind. While Magneto's point of view is that they're enemies, that they're Homo sapiens, that they need to be wiped out, That's the way Magneto sees them. So you can understand both points of views, I guess. And of course, like the story of what Magneto wants to do, turning every human to mutants, you can see the whole thing would happen to his parents, that somewhat he wants revenge out of it, So, he's looking for vengeance. I think that's his whole goal is revenge, But, I like the story's really good, though, that the X-Men, the mutants are, prejudice against them. They were born different, and some people just don't understand that's different. That's why I see X-Men is that they're different and they have to deal with prejudice, or racism, basically, if you will. But they have to put up with that, and they're just different. But there's some good X-Men out there, some good mutants. That mutants, like the X-Men, that want to help people out, and that's what they do. While the Brotherhood wants to wipe people out, but they're protecting people who fear them. And the mutants, they're just different, I think the message of the movie is that we're all born different, and some people just can't accept that or understand it, and that's the big difference here is, like a war between good and evil, what's right and wrong, that's what I kind of see this movie. Well, Bryan Singer, despite some of the stuff he's done, he did a great job with the movie. He's definitely one of the best superhero directors in my opinion. He really gave us a good movie. I take the story very seriously. The cast is really good. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is awesome. Like Christopher Reeve's Superman, Michael Keaton is Batman. He is Wolverine. Logan, he's perfect for the role. He played the character so perfectly. Now it doesn't bother me to hate this Murray's yellow suit. I don't complain about it. I'm fine with it. I know in the comics he's known for that, but Hugh Jackman is great. I don't care. He's great as Wolverine. He was just one player. He's got the voice. He's got the attitude for Wolverine. Wolverine who's an anti-hero. Just with a bad, nasty attitude. But, you kind of gruffy attitude. But you do like that, like him for it. It does make him a badass character. And he's my favorite character in this movie. And Cyclops, again, the cast, Magneto, great villain. You can get his point of view. I like the helmet and stuff, helmet's cool. I like Sabretooth. Sabretooth is cool. And he's not the brother of Wolverine like in the original Wolverine. No. There's nothing of that in here. Mystique is a good villainess. I like how she can change her quick. Manages a good job. Freaking Jimenez, all very gorgeous women. They do a great job with Storm and Jean Grey. James Marsden was great as Scott Summers, when he's there to do. But it's an awesome movie, definitely. Well, not fully awesome, but, really good. So the directing and the writing of the story is really good. The music score, I think, is decent. It's pretty good, but I do prefer it. And the next two movies do be better scores, but that's just my opinion. I'm not saying Michael Keaton did a bad job. He did a good job. Cinematography, the editing is good. I love the way film is shot. It is a very well shot movie. The cinematography is beautiful. The editing is fine. The action is good when it's there. Could be a little more action, but and it's 104 minutes long. It really is a good pace. This is a very good pace movie. It feels like it goes by quick, in my opinion at least. It feels like this film goes by at a really good pace. Now getting to my problems. It's over my favorite superhero movies, but getting to my problems is some of the we could have had more action in the movie. A little more action would be nice. I feel like this film was lacking some action, and I know it's all about story, but I do want to see a lot better action in it, though. X2, I think we got that a little more, and X2, I think, is a lot better than this, but that's just my personal opinion. One of my favorite sequels ever, but anyway. Cyclops is a good leader. It's just that for some of the other characters, it does feel like Wolverine kind of steals the spotlight here. Hugh Jackman steals the show. It feels like he's just along for the ride, but he's almost like the star of the movie, and the X-Men are just the co-stars. But introducing the X-Men, I thought they did in a lame way. Like, when you have an introvert character, when you see superhero coming for the first, showing up for the first time, you expect, like with Blade had a bad sense of Blade showing up to the disco party and killing and kicking the asses of the vampires. That was awesome. That was badass. But in this movie, no. Instead, they just shoot a beam, Cyclops shoots his beam. They help her open up a seatbelt, which honestly was really lame. I'm like, Scott says I saved the ass, but Scott, all you did was shoot a beam and shoot at all you did was pick him up and just save her. You just shot the seatbelt off just to help her. I'm like, yay. So they could have had a better intro for the X-Men, and Jean wasn't there either, so. But, you needed an awesome intro. But it doesn't really feel like with Cyclops and Storm. Storm feels like a background character. Halle Berry does a great job, don't get me wrong, But she does feel like a background character. Cyclops is an interesting character, but you don't see enough action with him. When action is there, it's good, And Jean is cool too, but their characters don't really feel developed. It feels like Wolverine is more of a developed, interesting character than them all. But I will say Professor X is an interesting character. The other two, just, Cyclops and Jean Grey, they don't really feel developed very well, in my opinion. And Storm just feels like she's in the background. I know people might find a line, but people, when she says that line, what happens to a toe when struck by lightning? The same thing that happened to everything else. Well, you know what? You don't complain about that, bitch about that. Just watch Catwoman. Sorry, Halle Berry. There's a lot of horrible dialogue in that movie. And Halle Berry's acting was just cringeworthy in that movie. Her acting is a lot better here. Say what you will about her being a background character in this movie, but at least she does a good job, and her dialogue is not cringeworthy. She's not acting weird. She's not doing weird things, or saying weird dialogue, Yeah, I thought her performance was awful in Catwoman. That film was terrible. No, this is a lot better than Catwoman. And I will say this, The CGI in this film does not hold up very well in my opinion. The CGI has not aged well in my opinion with the movie. Yeah, the special effects are not aged well. Cinematography and the editing is nice, and one action could be nice. I know there were deleted scenes cut out. I wish they would have kept those in, just to give these characters more development, because they are interesting characters, and I want to know more about them. It'd just be interesting to know a little more about them. Cyclops has some good scenes, and he does come off as a good leader, but I hate what they did with him in the sequels, the next two movies. But here, Cyclops is good. He doesn't do a whole lot of action, but when he just beams off his cool, Yeah. And Wolverine is the most badass character in the movie. Magneto is good. The villains are good. Sabretooth is an awesome villain. So, it's got a good story. I like that, it's about, like I said, good versus evil, kind of in a way about accepting somebody who's different. It's just that we're born different. But there's nothing wrong with that, that you can still be a good person. I think that's what the message of the movie about, that you can use your abilities, your gift you can use it for good. That's what I see X-Men as, Magneto just has a different point of view. Because more, I think he had hatred. You got that hatred in him because of his parents, so I think it's all about revenge for him. But anyway, really good movie, love X-Men. Not the greatest superhero movie of all time. Still say Play is a lot better. Sam Raimi Spider-Man, I ain't gonna say that yet because I need to revisit that one too. But anyway, X-Men, awesome movie, definitely a good movie. Definitely one of my favorite superhero movies. And my rating for X-Men 2000, I'm gonna give this 4 out of 5 stars. And a thumbs up for X-Men 2000. So guys, if you've seen the original X-Men movie, the first one that came out in 2000, what do you think of this movie in your opinion? Do you like it or do you hate it? I'm going to use an X bomb, but I don't know which one to use. Anyway, that's X-Men 2000. Good movie, 4 to 5. My rating for this film is 4 to 5 stars. And a thumbs up. So guys, tell me in the comments down below, what do you think of X-Men in your opinion? Stay tuned for the next review. Might be Sunday or next weekend. I got plans for tomorrow. Today's my dad's birthday, so, going to South Carolina to go see my sister and brother-in-law. And my brother's going to hang out with us too, and we're going to have a good time tomorrow. So no review tomorrow, sir. No review at all. So Sunday, maybe. But hopefully I'll be able to do more reviews. In a couple of weeks, I will be having some PTO time off work for my birthday. So maybe we'll be able to do some reviews. But anyway, for the next review, which is okay, now we'll begin into the year. Jeremy, fucking hit the goddamn chair. Anyway, the next 2000 reviews will be done with the year 2000. Now, I should mention though, I did review Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. That did come out in 2000. That came out in December. But I've already reviewed that. It's my Batman Marathon. I'll put it all in on superhero reviews too. But I've already reviewed Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. Just go check it out on my Batman Marathon. So, it's on there. So, they will not be reviewing that. Instead, we'll be moving on to the year 2002, which is 2 movies, but I will be talking about the Spider-Man 90s cartoon. But before we get to Spider-Man at all, we're getting to a sequel. Probably the first Marvel sequel, one of the original ones. Because Blade was first. This is a sequel to Blade, and that is, of course, the 2002 horror superhero movie action film that is starring Wesley Snipes once again. And next will be, in the year 2002, we're going to be starting with, next is Blade 2, underrated sequel in my opinion. Blade 2. This will be next. So, maybe Sunday or maybe next weekend. But Blade 2 will be definitely next. So, some cool stuff. Blade 2, the soundtrack. Anyway, I'm just looking at my DVD here. Sorry. But yeah, Blade 2, that'll be the next superhero review. Or pretty much the next Marvel review. Because it is Marvel, but Blade 2 is next. Alright guys, and hope you enjoyed my review of X-Men 2000. My revision review for X-Men 2000, which you'll see in the title. So guys, tell me 4 or 5 stars is my rating of this film. Thumbs up. 4 or 5 stars. My rating for this film is 4 to 5 turtles. Again, at thumbs up from 2000. So guys, if you've seen X-Men 2000, tell me in the comments down below, what do you think of this movie? Do you like it? Do you hate it? And stay tuned for my next review for Blade 2, starring Wesley Snipes, which is a sequel to the 1998 film. So Blade 2, that's next. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Bye.